Friends, we're all back together for the next episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Welcome.
I'm Tyler Hoskins. I've been diabetic for 3 or 4 years now. And the way I got diagnosed, it's not the way that most people do. So I was a part of a research study through a company called TrialNet.
Check out my algorithm pumping series to help you make sense of automated insulin delivery systems like Omnipod 5, Loop, Medtronic 780G, twiist, Tandem Control IQ, and much more. Each episode will dive into the setup, features, and real-world usage tips that can transform your daily type 1 diabetes management. We cut through the jargon, share personal experiences, and show you how these algorithms can simplify and streamline your care. If you're curious about automated insulin pumping, go find the Algorithm Pumping series in the Juicebox Podcast. Easiest way, juiceboxpodcast.com, and go up into the menu. Click on series, and it'll be right there. Nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan. The episode you're about to listen to was sponsored by Touched by Type 1. Go check them out right now on Facebook, Instagram, and of course at touchedbytype1.org. Check out that programs tab when you get to the website to see all the great things that they're doing for people living with type 1 diabetes. Touchedbytype1.org. I'm having an on-body vibe alert. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by Eversense 365, the only 1-year wear CGM. That's one insertion and one CGM a year. One CGM, 1 year. Not every 10 or 14 days. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by the Omnipod 5. And at my link, omnipod.com/juicebox, you can get yourself a free, a free Omnipod 5 starter kit. Free? Get out of here. Go click on that link, omnipod.com/juicebox. Check it out. Terms and conditions apply. Eligibility may vary. Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox. Links in the show notes, links at juiceboxpodcast.com.
I'm Tyler Hoskins. I've been diabetic for 3 or 4 years now. And the way I got diagnosed, it's not the way that most people do. So I was a part of a research study through a company called TrialNet. They started doing early detection for diabetics. And I was a part of the research study before I was diabetic. Both my parents are diabetic. It pretty much runs in my family for a long time. Mm-hmm. And all they did was just sent us a little package with a lancet and a little tube, a little vial, and asked us to fill it up with blood, send it back. All three of my siblings, or me and my 2 other siblings, did this. It's through antibodies. So when they sent us results, I think normal for one antibody in specific, don't remember which one it is, it was around 20. And my antibody count was somewhere around 600.
What do they check for? 5 different autoantibodies, and you're saying that 20 is like a level for one of them, and yours was like off the chart?
Yeah.
Oh, and did you just have one at that point that was off the chart, or did you have more than one? Did you have up to 5? Or
I had 2 others that were a little higher, not as high as that.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember which one had the big number?
I don't.
No, that's okay. So you found out through the mail.
Yeah.
You're right. Not a lot of people find out through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom and dad both have type 1.
My dad is type 1. My mom is type 2.
Your mom is type 2. Anybody else type 1 besides you and your dad?
Just a lot of extended family.
In your head, you don't have to say their names, obviously, but like count them off in your head. Give me his like an aunt, a cousin, like that kind of thing.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. How about other autoimmune stuff? Do you have hypothyroidism?
Nope.
No. Does anybody else?
My mom, she has something with her thyroid. Don't know what. It's not celiac. I do have a diabetic cousin. She does have the celiac.
Okay. Type 1 and celiac, your cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell people how old you are. I'm sorry, we didn't go to...
Oh, yeah. I'm 16.
Okay. You said 3 or 4 years. How old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was diagnosed 6th grade, so 12 maybe.
All right. So first of all, when your parents decide to do TrialNet for you and your siblings, and by the way, did any of your siblings have markers?
My brother, he had some markers, not a concerning amount. He's 21 now, and he's still not diabetic.
Okay.
And my sister came back. She has no antibodies at all.
Okay. So when they come to you originally, do you remember them saying like why they were poking a hole in your finger in the middle of the living room?
It's been a concern that I was starting to become diabetic for a while. It was Christmas the year before, and Christmas foods, a lot of sugar. My dad, he noticed I was going to the bathroom a lot. So he got out his meter, changed the needle, all that, and told me to test my blood sugar. And it was like 203 or something. Not concerning now that I'm diabetic, but I'm sure that's pretty concerning for a non-diabetic.
Yep. I think most people would tell you that a fasting blood sugar of over 140 would be concerning, and that a 200, even after a meal, if you don't have type 1, you shouldn't really get to 200. So your dad was onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does he tell you at that point? Do you remember him saying, did he go, oh, let me check your blood sugar, everything's cool, run off and play? Or was he like, did he say something more specific about what was happening?
At that point, I kind of like knew diabetes management as a general sense. And I kind of knew 200 was a little high. It was like a couple days after that, he put one of his old G5s on me, since he was on the G6 at that point, but still had some G5s laying around. And it would spike up to 200 every now and then if I have like a really heavy carbed meal. But other than that, it would stay generally in diabetic range.
Not non-diabetic or diabetic range?
Diabetic range.
Okay. So yeah, you were looking like type 1. Now, at that age, is that scary? I'm trying to figure out your mind's, like your headspace around that.
At that point, it didn't really scare me at all, since I've grown up with a lot of diabetic family and they always seemed just fine with it.
Gotcha.
After that, my parents went to, I think it was my pediatrician, and showed them, hey, this is what my son's blood sugar is. It's not normal. And they said something along the lines of, we really can't do anything until something like really bad happens.
Did you try going to an endo after that?
After that, we just kind of watched my blood sugar every now and then, made sure I wasn't like 300s. And then I don't remember how my parents learned about TrialNet, but they learned about it. So they decided to get me and my 2 siblings tested.
Yeah.
And then after that, they noticed me and my brother's antibodies were high. Mine were a lot higher than his. So then they took us to a hospital down in Indianapolis. They went and did a glucose tolerance test, was the first thing.
Yeah.
They noticed mine was higher than it should be. My brother's was just fine. And then they went and did an MRI of our pancreas.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember why they did that?
The doctor said they're just trying to figure out like ways of early detection in diabetics.
Oh, okay.
So this was before TrialNet is where it is now. This was in its beta stages.
This was part of the process of being involved with TrialNet.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Since doctors wouldn't do anything, so he went to TrialNet.
Yeah, I see. And they sent you out to this facility in Indianapolis.
Yep.
Got it. I mean, at this point, like, you know, right? Like, I have type 1, even if it hasn't started, it's on its way and it's coming.
I could tell I'm going to be type 1 if I'm not considered that already. We had quite a long period where I wasn't sure if I was type 1 or not yet. Because no one really diagnosed me yet.
Yeah, how long was that process of not knowing?
It was about 5 months.
Oh, geez.
Where I knew my blood sugar's not normal, but it wasn't. No one ever told me, hey, you're diabetic.
But you're figuring it out as you go.
Yeah.
How's your overall health at that point? Did you feel run down? Were you losing weight? Was anything like that happening?
I felt fine.
Really?
I noticed like if I didn't eat for a while, I would have like low blood sugar symptoms, but nothing concerning.
Okay. All right. I see. So how long till after Indianapolis do you get a diagnosis and start using insulin? Today's episode is brought to you by Omnipod. Did you know that the majority of Omnipod 5 users pay less than $30 per month at the pharmacy? That's less than $1 a day for tube-free automated insulin delivery. And a third of Omnipod 5 users pay $0 per month. You heard that right, 0. That's less than your daily coffee for all of the benefits of tubeless, waterproof, automated insulin delivery. My daughter has been wearing an Omnipod every day since she was 4 years old, and she's about to be 21. My family relies on Omnipod, and I think you'll love it. And you can try it for free right now by requesting your free starter kit today at my link, omnipod.com/juicebox. Omnipod has been an advertiser for a decade, but even if they weren't, I would tell you proudly, my daughter wears an Omnipod. Omnipod.com/juicebox. Terms and conditions apply. Eligibility may vary. Why don't you get yourself that free starter kit? Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox. Today's episode is sponsored by a long-term CGM that's going to help you to stay on top of your glucose readings, the Eversense 365. I'm talking, of course, about the world's first and only CGM that lasts for 1 year. 1 year, one CGM. Are you tired of those other CGMs? The ones that give you all those problems that you didn't expect? Knocking them off, false alerts, not lasting as long as they're supposed to? If you're tired of those constant frustrations, use my link, eversensecgm.com/juicebox to learn more about the Eversense 365. Some of you may be able to experience the Eversense 365 for as low as $199 for a full year. At my link, you'll find those details and can learn about eligibility. eversensecgm.com/juicebox. Check it out.
So after Indianapolis, I don't really remember the time frame. They sent me up with a local endocrinologist and they went over the results and they're the ones that said, you're diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they started me on insulin was a little weird since at this point, my pancreas still worked.
Yeah.
But not all the way. They gave me long-acting insulin. They just never told me to use it. They gave me Lantus,
right.
Never used it. And they told me at the very beginning, if your blood sugar is over 200 2 hours after eating, then take insulin.
But Lantus?
No, they gave me Novolog.
They gave you Novolog too. Okay, all right. Yeah, I was like,
the Lantus was just sitting in our fridge, never used.
Gotcha.
So 2 hours after eating, over 200, then I would go and take like a unit of insulin. I couldn't do anything about if I know I'm going to have a carb-heavy meal. Sometimes, one time during Thanksgiving, I went and took like a unit and a half, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor didn't tell me to do that. I just figured I'm going to go high.
You do that on your own, Tyler, or did you do that with your parents?
My dad told me to.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how long has your dad had type 1?
He's had it since he was about my age, and he's mid-40s now.
Yeah, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah, he's had it for a long time.
He probably wanted to get moving with covering at least those carb-heavy meals in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Were you guys just kind of stuck feeling like you had to listen to the doctor, or did it feel like you were doing the right thing?
It was kind of frustrating since my dad knew how to take care of like a full diabetic. But the doctor was just telling me, just put it off. Just keep putting off me getting full diabetes until it comes.
It's a weird way to think of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like if you're going to spike at a meal and you don't need basal, then give yourself some insulin before the meal so you don't spike. Like that doesn't seem crazy to me. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense to me, but whatever. I mean, it's what they did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then was this like a very slow onset or did it come all at once it came?
It still took quite a while. After a while, I still no long-acting insulin. I asked if I could switch to a pump since I didn't like giving myself shots.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, since I was still on very little amount of insulin, they said, we will try and give you a pump. No idea if it'll actually work. I wanted the Omnipod 5 at that point. So I got it, tried it. It did pretty good for quite a while. I had it for maybe 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then just last week, I switched to the Mobi.
What made you switch?
My dad, he has the X2. And I've seen a lot of people who have the Mobi, mainly at a camp I go to for diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who has the Mobi talks about how great it is and how much they love it. The Omnipod, it still worked. Just I didn't really feel like I liked it as much anymore.
What about it? Was it the algorithm? Was it the form factor?
After meals, I would always go high, and then like I would change ratios. I'd still kind of go high. I felt like Omnipod's algorithm wasn't quite aggressive enough for what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone was telling me how they had similar problems and they switched to the Mobi, and Mobi worked great for them.
Did you ever try resetting the Omnipod 5, like changing your manual settings, getting them, and then putting it back into automation again to see if maybe your needs had changed?
I've changed my ratios and all that.
My point is this, the ship sailed already, but
Yeah.
if you're running Omnipod 5 in automation, like, for a while, and let's say you got a foot taller, you change, I don't know, somehow your weight changed, gained weight. If you just go into settings and change your settings, that doesn't change how automation works. It changes your manual settings. So you'd have to reset the system, put in those new settings into manual, then restart automation, like wiping it clean and starting over again. And then it would start over with those new settings. There are settings in Omnipod 5 that while you're in automation, no matter how much you change them, they're not impacting automation. They're only impacting manual if you're in manual. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's the thing people don't tell you, then you feel like you're making it stronger or doing whatever you're trying to do, making it weaker, etc. And you're not actually touching it. The algorithm's still doing what it thinks is right. Anyway, like I said, horse is out of the barn on that one.
Yeah.
Important to know for other people. Okay, so you got the Mobi, you're liking it, and how long you've been using it?
About a week now.
Oh, okay. And what are your findings?
First day or two was a little rough. But after that, it started working great. I didn't really spike as high after meals. Right now, my time in range is 96.
Mm-hmm. What's the spike look like now after a meal?
So with this, after like yesterday for dinner, I went and had, I think it was hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, blood sugar went from 109 to 130 after hot dogs. Not too terrible. Then when I was 130, I went and had peach cobbler, which then spiked me up to 205.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the Mobi went and brought it right back down to where it's supposed to be and stayed that way rest of the night.
After you hit the 205 peak, how long do you think it was until you were back to where you wanted to be?
I was back down to like 150. So the peak was at 552.
Okay.
I was back to 150 at 6:30.
Mm-hmm. Did you pre-bolus the cobbler?
Yeah.
Or do you remember how much you gave? Like how long?
I gave it 15 minutes.
Very nice. But that's a lot of sugar, right? Hit you pretty quick.
Yeah. Peach cobbler with ice cream on it.
Oh, well, you said peach cobbler. You had peach cobbler and ice cream. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sugar happening. Okay. Awesome. That's great, man. I'm happy for you. Do you wear it on like with a long piece of tubing, or do you kind of wear it on your body with a short piece?
I have the long tubing right now, and first couple days I had it in my pocket, but I just put on that body patch.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot better, especially when I'm like sleeping.
Okay.
Since I'll roll around a lot, and I've noticed it started getting caught on something and started pulling.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you after using Omnipod for so long. Like, what was it like with the tubing and where do you even put this is the thing I can't even imagine because my daughter's only ever worn on Omnipod, but like, where do you put the device at the end of the tubing when you're sleeping? You like on a table? Is it in bed with you? What do you do?
I use the belt clip it had, and I'll just clip it to my underwear.
Gotcha. It needs to be kind of clipped to you.
Yeah. First night, I just had it just kind of roaming around.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like I'd roll over and it'd be like pulling on the site.
Mm-hmm. Like when you fall asleep with your AirPods in the case and then you wake up and they're like under your hip or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you fall asleep with your headphones in ever?
Rarely.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I always wonder what other people do. Like I love listening to stuff as I'm falling asleep. But then like you wake up, like I said, and like searching the bed looking for the AirPod. You can't find it anywhere. It's like under a pillow on the other side of the bed and stuff. Then I inevitably try to put them in the case so they won't be dead in the morning. Drop it on the floor. We have hardwood, so it hits, makes a ton of noise. My wife's like, what was that? What was that? It's a whole thing. Tyler, you're better off where you are. You're 16 now. You've had type 1 for a while.
Yeah, since 2022.
So getting past your diagnosis, what's it been like? I mean, it's a formidable age, right? You're getting older and you're 16 now. Are you driving yet?
I have my permit right now, so I can drive with a parent.
Okay. So you're going through all that. Do you have a good friend group or you got people messing with you about the diabetes? Are they supportive? Like what's been your findings over the last couple of years?
All my friends, they know I'm diabetic. They don't really know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
For them, like my diabetes is just kind of there. It's not really in the way. They don't really care much about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of there.
Do you have a close friend that would know what to do if you had trouble?
They all know what to do if I end up going down.
Has that ever happened?
Nope.
No. Okay. You play any sports?
Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore. Did diabetes get in the way of the sports or is it just something you naturally stopped doing?
I did play football for 2 years. Then I became diabetic. That is one of the reasons I don't do football anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was through the parks department. So they didn't make any cuts, any of that. So I played it for 2 years. And then if you wanted to keep playing football, you would have to join the school's team, which not a big fan of the school's team.
Okay.
They make cuts. Not really sure if I could make the cuts or not.
Yeah. You're playing for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And having the Dexcom and Omnipod on at that time, that was one of the reasons I didn't do football anymore.
You weren't sure quite how to handle that?
Yeah.
I see. How about during activity? Was your blood sugar okay?
Yeah, it was fine during most activities.
Good.
If it's like a really intense activity that I'm doing, I put on activity mode in Omnipod for my Mobi.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a really intense activity, which most of the time, most of my activity is just swimming, so I won't have a pump on anyways.
Yeah. Gotcha. Have you swam now with a pump you had to disconnect versus a pump you didn't have to?
Couple times now.
What's the difference?
I thought it was interesting. First time I tried the Mobi, I disconnected it, turned off insulin, just put it down. Then I noticed when I was swimming, my blood sugar still went low. This was like half an hour, maybe an hour after I disconnected.
Okay.
And then I started feeling a little low. So I checked my blood sugar and it was like 75.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a little weird since I haven't had insulin in like an hour. I still went low.
Did you get low when you were swimming on Omnipod 5?
Not a crazy amount.
Okay. All right.
But it would still happen now and then.
So everything's very variable,
Yeah.
and it's hard to put your finger on what's going on sometimes. People don't give you crap about it. You don't seem like you care at all that you have diabetes. It's not a thing that's affecting you psychologically.
No, it's just kind of there. I deal with it. It's just there.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel closer to your dad because you have it now?
He does help quite a bit. We have had a lot of more bonding time with it. And it's kind of funny. So my mom, she has follow on both me and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny since my brother, he's moved out now. So it's just me and my sister and mom and dad. So whenever mom's phone would beep, my sister would always guess who's beeping. She started getting really good at it. It's kind of scary.
Do you and your dad have similar outcomes? Like, because I imagine you're managing reasonably similarly, right? He probably taught you how to do it. And so, like, I'm wondering, like, do meals end and you guys end up kind of in the same place, or is it wildly different?
Sometimes, like, after we eat, I'll notice I'm going high, so I'll ask him. And sometimes he's also going high.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing my sister noticed, more of the urgent lows are my dad. So whenever she hears the urgent low sound from my mom's phone, she'll always guess dad. And almost all the time, it is him.
What do you think he's doing differently than you?
I have no idea. He's the one that taught me how to do everything.
Yeah. Maybe you refined the process. Maybe you should have to teach him. I'm sure he'd be thrilled if you came back to him and said, hey, Dad, I've been noticing a lot of urgent lows on you lately. Maybe you'd like to watch me see what I'm doing so you can figure this out. Did he have a pump his whole life?
He started out just on syringes.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't really get a pump until he was married.
Okay. You think your mom made him do it?
I don't think she really made him. She might have suggested it.
Yeah. Well, you're not married, Tyler. That's made him. But I understand that you don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you think like once he got married, he was maybe looking to refine his control a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he started out with Medtronic, and I have no idea how long he had it, but he talked about how he didn't really like Medtronic. Their pump and Guardian, I think he had a Guardian. He said that they were okay, but it was their customer support back in the day. He said he didn't like that as much.
Okay.
So eventually he switched to a T-Slim. And as far as I can remember, he's always had a T-Slim.
Okay. Where are you guys located? Like, because you said you went, I think you said down to Indianapolis, but you sound like I'm worried that your voice is going to sound deeper than mine on this podcast. So like, it's hard to tell where you're from, but you have a little bit of a, like, I can't decide if there's like a steer near your house or if you're more like upper Midwest.
Northeast Indiana.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're still in Indiana. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. But Northeast. I see. All right. You live there your whole life?
Yep.
Yeah. You have any ideas about where you might want to go to college? Or if you want to go?
I have somewhat of an idea what I want to do. So my brother, he lives in Florida now, got a really good flight school opportunity. So he took that, ended up working at the flight school. And then now he's the chief of operations at the flight school.
Oh, wow.
So he stopped his flight schooling and now just is chief of operations at the flight school. And here, end of July, he told me I could get an internship at their maintenance department, which I've thought maintenance or engineering or something like that is kind of cool for a while now.
Yeah.
So he told me he got me a 2-week internship with the airplane maintenance down at his flight school.
Go give it a try.
I'm going to give it a try. Right now, I want to go into avionics.
Is that a thing you'd go to like a specific school for after high school?
It's kind of like a trade school.
Okay.
It's down in Florida, Garmin.
You learn to work on the planes then?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Is your brother a pilot?
He's still slowly doing his flight training. I think he's close to his commercial license right now.
Oh, no kidding. Does the whole family fly, or is it just a thing that your brother does?
Just him. He's taken us up in airplanes.
It seems safe. You felt comfortable?
It was a little bumpy, but I trusted him.
I don't trust anybody that much, Tyler. I was on a plane last week and we were coming into Houston and like we're descending. We're maybe like at 3,000 feet. And we just hit one of those dead pockets where the plane feels like it jumps through the turbulence. This lady, like 4 or 5 rows behind me, she started screaming and she did not stop. I mean, like long after everyone was like, oh, it's over. That was fine. And it was just one big bump. She was still going. And I was seated next to these 2 little kids, like these sisters. They must be like 7 and like 9 or something like that. By the way, best people I've ever sat next to on a plane in my entire life. They were just like quiet and lovely and polite and everything. And their father was like across from us. And now I feel like I have to explain, Tyler, that when like I was already in my seat on the aisle, I like to sit in the aisle, right? And then the father comes up and like gestures to me that the 2 seats next to them are for his daughters and he's across the aisle. And so I think, because I'm a good person, Tyler.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to let the dad sit here. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Right. But then I look over to see that he has the middle seat and the guy next to him on the aisle he was taking up more than his fair share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his beard looked like maybe it didn't get a full washing that day. And I looked up to say to the dad, hey, just take my seat, but kind of scanned the whole situation very quickly. And I looked up and I said, hey, don't worry. I've raised 2 kids. They're still alive. I'll take good care of them. I was like, they got in. I was like, hey, girls, I'm Scott. What's your name? And they like introduced themselves. I'm like, you need anything, you tell me, I'll tell your dad. Okay. And they were like, right on. So like I helped them with like plugging their stuff in and like some other stuff, like putting the shade down and the lights and stuff like that. Like I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with them. But anyway, I just looked up. I really thought I was just going to say like, oh, just have a seat, But then I was like, no, I want to stay in my aisle seat. So anyway, I felt bad for a minute, but I got over it. And anyway, the girls were great seatmates. And they were laughing at the woman who was yelling still. Anyway, I don't know why I told you that, other than I think those girls needed a shout out for being so cool on a plane. Not that they'll ever hear this. I guess what I want to understand is the diabetes doesn't feel like to me like it's a huge part of your consciousness day to day. Like you're taking care of it, like, but what are your outcomes like? Do you know what your A1C's been for the last year? How's your variability? Do you feel like you're putting a lot of extra effort into diabetes, or does it feel like kind of background to you?
I don't really know my A1C off the top of my head. My doctor always says that it's really good. Don't know if she says that to everyone or just me.
I think they say it to everyone who's not dying. They're all like, you're doing great. Did you get that? You're doing great?
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing great. So if I said to you, your A1C's in the 5s, the 6s, the 7s, the 8s, would you know which one?
I would say it's like low 6s.
Okay, nice. So you don't know exactly what it is, but you know about where it is.
Yeah.
So that's not even a thing that you're like focused on. You go to those appointments with your mom or your dad?
Depends on the time.
Could be either.
Yeah.
Okay. Both your parents have a firm idea of how to help you and how to help you manage. Were they part of the teaching process, or was it all on your dad?
Mainly on my dad. My mom would give ideas every now and then, but she didn't grow up having type 1 diabetes, so
yeah,
she could try and help.
But she's been married to a type 1 for a long time, I imagine.
He's the same way I am. Like his diabetes is there. He doesn't really it's not really a big part. It's just he manages it. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
He won't go out and say, it took a lot of convincing for my mom to get the Follow app. He's not really public about his diabetes.
Oh, wait, it took him? He had to be convinced, or your mom had to be convinced?
My dad had to be convinced.
Oh, and did this only happen once you got diabetes?
Yeah.
I see.
Once she got it on me, a little bit after, she got it on my dad too.
Gotcha. And he was like, I'm fine. Leave me alone.
He's always been great with his diabetes.
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't really need the monitoring.
Right. But it makes her feel better, do you think?
Yeah, I think.
Maybe once she started seeing your blood sugar, she started wondering about your dad's too, I bet.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Do you notice like your dad, right?
Yeah.
Do you think your mom was, I'm going to guess she was obviously upset to know that you had type 1. But do you think it really affected her? Have you seen it change how she is with you?
Not a major amount.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of known that at least one of the children are going to be diabetic eventually.
Because of the whole family, there's a fair bet, right? Yeah. So have you ever talked to her about it? Like, did she marry your dad knowing I'm probably going to have a baby with type 1 at some point?
I don't know.
Interesting question, isn't it?
You would probably know that one of the children's probably going to be type 1 since her dad and some of her families are also diabetic.
Yeah. Type 2, only type 2 on her side.
Her dad's type 1, but most of it is type 2.
Oh, her dad's type 1. Your dad's type 1. There's type 1 on your dad's side. Yeah, one of you was definitely getting it. I mean, not definitely, but you know what I mean? Like the odds.
There's a lot of genes in my family for diabetes.
Yeah, a lot of holes in your genes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy them that way now. Did you know that? Pre-distressed, they call it. You wouldn't wear jeans with a hole in it, right? On purpose.
The only holes in my jeans are if they do end up getting ripped.
Then they just stay there.
Yeah.
I hear you. You think your sister feels, it's going to sound crazy for a minute, maybe. Think your sister feels left out?
She seemed happy that she wasn't going to be diabetic when we did the TrialNet.
Yeah. But you weren't sad?
Not really.
Tyler, are you easy to get along with in other parts of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think that's just natural for you? It's not a thing you're trying to do?
Yeah.
How about that? It's interesting. You told me in your intake form that you want to talk about hunting with type 1. What are the challenges there? How do you handle it?
When I'm sitting there hunting, or I guess anywhere quiet, but mainly hunting, back when I was on the Omnipod, I was always terrified that it was just going to start beeping.
You don't want the deer to hear?
I don't want the deer to hear that.
Oh, dear, don't hear. Isn't that interesting? Like, you're like, I need to talk about like hunting with diabetes. And it's not about like I got low walking through the woods, or it was tough carrying snacks, or I didn't like testing my blood sugar when it was cold. It was like just didn't want the game to get scared off by the beeping.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you are chill as hell. You know that about yourself? You're really relaxed, man. I'd like to be as relaxed as you are. You dating? Any people on the horizon there?
Not right now.
Are you interested?
I'm waiting until I can drive.
How do you think that changes things?
Don't want my parents to drive me to my dates.
It'll definitely change it. So when I say to you, are you dating? And you think, no, I'm not, but are you interested? You picture a person?
Not really.
No? Hasn't been one or two that you've been like, maybe this one?
I've had a couple like ideas, but not really.
You ever talk to them?
Yeah, I'm friends with quite a few, but
Quite a few.
Well, not quite a few.
I know you're bragging, Tyler. It's okay. Quite a few. They're everywhere, just waiting for you to get a driver's license, probably. You think they're thinking the same thing? Like that guy starts driving and I'm getting into this.
No.
Are you tall? Your voice makes me feel like you're tall.
I'm like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah. You think you'll be taller than that?
Every doctor's told me a different thing. Some of them are saying I'm going to keep growing. Some of them say I'll stop growing.
We can figure it out. How tall is your father?
6 foot.
Oh. And your mom? Is your mom over 5'9"?
She's probably about 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, you might not get much taller. It's all right, man. This is tall enough. You're not trying to play basketball or hit a baseball or something like that. You'll be all right. 6 foot's a good height. I bet you're taller than most people you meet, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I'm not that tall, and I'm 5'9", and most of the people I meet, I'm taller than, which freaks me out because as soon as I meet somebody like who's taller than me, I feel like a child. You know what I mean? Like somebody 6'2" walks in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so short. But then most of my life, I'm taller than everybody else. It's interesting. I don't know. Do you care how tall you are?
Not really.
May I go over a scenario that we were talking about in my house the other day?
Sure.
I said to the family, what percentage of your looks would you give up to be something else? And what would that something else be? So like what else about your visage, you know what I mean? The way you look, the way you are, etc. Would you like to be more muscular, taller, slender, like whatever? Like if there's a thing you wanted to adjust, but you could only get it by giving up 10% of your good looks. Would you do it? Like you'd be 10% uglier, Tyler, but then you would be the other thing that you want. Do you want anything badly enough to give that away?
I would say no.
Everyone said no.
Really?
Yeah. I have to tell you, man, I would for height. I don't know why. I wish I was a little taller. And I'm not handsome enough to give away 10%. 10% would hurt me, Tyler. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd be in a situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like that too? You feel like you can't afford the 10%?
Yeah.
Who do you think could? This was the rest of our conversation. Like, what famous person could like lose 10% of their like I don't know, face value? I don't know a way to put this because it's so stupid. Who could lose 10% and still be like rock solid, still handsome? I always say Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt's a handsome man.
Brad Pitt definitely could.
Right, Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Thinner Matt Damon?
I bet he could.
Yeah, I think heavier Matt Damon can't afford it. What do you think of that?
Probably not.
These things you've ever thought of or no?
No, not really.
No? What do you think about when you're sitting around talking with your family and saying stupid shit to each other?
It's mainly just my sister saying random stuff. Like yesterday, she brought up about primary colors, like how you need the primary colors to make all the other colors.
Mm-hmm.
But she was trying to figure out how you get primary colors.
Like what makes them?
Yeah.
Well, you're making a point. I mean, I don't know how anything works. So that also, isn't it strange to know that different people see colors differently? Isn't that crazy?
I've actually seen this. So I see less shades of like red and less shades of blue than other people.
No kidding. Like somebody says to you, this is like dark red, and you go, no, it's not.
In art class one time, we were blending reds together. And to me, it looked like just red and then light red.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else saw contrast and like different everything, right? Like it looked much different to them, more like a rainbow of reds.
Yeah.
And you only saw two. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Huh? Do you wear glasses?
I do.
Interesting. Your whole life?
Not my whole life.
Not your whole life. Okay.
I started around like 5th grade, I think.
Mm-hmm. When you start dating, do you think it's going to be difficult to explain type 1 to people? Do you think you won't even bother? Like, how do you imagine? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't ask you, but girls or boys, what's your preference?
Girls.
All right. So you see a girl and you're like, right on. This is the one. I'm going to focus all of Tyler's energy on trying to get this girl to go to a movie with me or whatever it is you kids do now. Okay. And like you saunter up to her and you're like, listen, I got my license now. And I'm thinking maybe you and I, would you be interested? Like whatever you end up saying. Assumption is the girl knows you have diabetes already, right?
Most people I talk to do.
Gonna know, right. And so she says, yes, we want to go. Awesome. We're making a plan. Is it more like, does it turn into hunting? Do you start thinking like, I don't want this thing beeping while technically you are hunting now. You're trying to get this girl to like you know what I mean? Try to get her to like you. Do you think you'd go to efforts to quiet the diabetes? Do you see that you would maybe ignore it a little bit in front of her to keep it from being focused? Or do you think you wouldn't care and you just do what you need to do?
I wouldn't really ignore it, but if it were going to like a movie theater, I would be a little conscious of it beeping.
Yeah.
But like if we're out to dinner or something, it can beep. Not a really big issue there.
So you're not worried that she hears it, this pretend girl we're making up. You're not worried that she hears it. You'd be just worried that you wouldn't want it to, just like in any other situation, you wouldn't want it to bother people.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not embarrassed at all about your diabetes.
No.
Right. And this girl 3 dates in says, hey, listen, you're cool and all. And I enjoyed the Superman movie we saw, you know, like, or whatever. And that's all good. But diabetes thing's freaking me out. I can't do this anymore. Do you think you'd be like, oh, then you don't like me if you don't like that and right on? Or do you think it would hurt you if somebody said that to you?
I had a friend who started out like that. Like he's terrified of needles.
Mm-hmm.
So he's better now. But one time I got him to put on one of my G6s. That absolutely terrified him.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, he seemed less, how do I say this? Less scared of needles.
Okay. Tyler, I might not have asked my question well if that was your answer. So let me try one more time. If you got rejected for having diabetes, do you think that would hurt your feelings?
I would say probably, since diabetes is a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
If you get me, you get diabetes with it. I'm not going to like hide it because of you.
But it's not you though. Like you have a distinction between the two of you. So if some like person was just like, look, I'm not doing diabetes with a boyfriend, so no, I'm sure you'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I don't know that, like, I'm wondering, and I think your answer tells me your answer, which is I think you'd be disappointed, but I don't think you'd be hurt by it. And if so, not for long. You have you have a healthy outlook about yourself, which is, just tell us all how your parents raised you with that. Like, because we'd all like to bottle that and give it to our children. Like, why are you confident?
I guess my dad, he's just been diabetic ever since I was around, way before that. And his diabetes has just always been there.
Right.
Like, if I had a question about it, he'd answer it, but he wouldn't go and like try and hide it, I guess.
Yeah. And he bagged your mom, right? So you got to figure somebody out there is okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever think of it that way, that they dated at some point?
I don't like thinking of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either. I'm with you. But he did, like, right? Like, your parents were out there, or maybe your dad bagged your mom, or your mom bagged your dad. I don't know how it went. But do you want to be married, do you think? Or is that a thing you don't think about? I mean, you're young. If you never thought about it, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would say I want to get married someday.
Okay. You want to make a little baby with diabetes? Because you're probably well on your way to it already. Have you ever thought about that?
That is one thing I'm scared of, is having a child with diabetes. When I was diagnosed, I would be fine with having a child that was diagnosed around that age. My cousin, she was diagnosed when she was 4.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be hard to deal with.
Changed my life. It's difficult. So, yeah, my daughter was 2. She's 21 now. Isn't that crazy? Ugh. No,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me. It's not crazy to you. Just gave me a chill, though. If you had actual experience at the age, you feel like that would be okay. But anything that maybe would happen before you knew how to do this, you think that would scare you a little bit?
Like the child having experience with like in an understanding of diabetes, I think would really help.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, too. When you imagine a family, how many kids do you have?
Like 2, 3.
Oh, you better you better be fixing those airplanes with both hands. You're going to get 3. You think you'll be all right with the heat in Florida and the humidity?
Past couple weeks, it's actually been hotter here than it is where my brother is.
This is the weirdest summer, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So you're getting hot where you're at?
Yeah.
We're getting rain. Like it won't stop raining here.
It won't rain here.
Oh, I would love for you to have some because it doesn't usually rain here this much. And it's starting to get like a bit of a bummer. My son's like, tries to go out and do something active on the weekends on Saturday. And he's like, I can't even get outside. He's like, it won't stop pouring and like thunder and lightning for days and days. Last week I was gone. I went on a cruise with a bunch of listeners. I was gone and it was like 105 degrees or something at home. And like, that doesn't happen in June where I live. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I keep telling my wife, like, this is going to be like a weird weather summer. This is going to be one that's just oddly different than others for a while. So it's dry and hot where you are.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. You have any pets?
I have 1 dog. We have like 6 goats and 4 rabbits and a handful of barn cats.
So are you on a farm?
I'd consider it a farm.
Yeah. Do you guys work it? Is it like, does it make money?
Not really.
No. Is it supposed to? And it doesn't? Or it's just like you have a nice piece of property and so you have a barn up on it and you got some goats?
I think we were up to 30 goats at one point. That was when we were more in the money-making side of it. But now we're just there to show the goats. We have 2 of them that are ours. The rest of them are somebody else's that we're just putting in our pasture, feeding them, and we get to show them.
Somebody is boarding their goat with you? You're like an Airbnb for goats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding. When you had a ton of them, how do you make money with goats? You sell them?
Yeah, so you would go and breed them, and then you would sell them.
What's a goat worth, do you know?
We bought our 2 for, I think it was $300 a piece, and they were young, and the last ones left.
And then you make a baby goat. I guess, Tyler, I'm trying to ask you, what do you do with a goat? Do you milk it? Do you ride it? Do you... I know you don't ride it. I'm just saying.
These ones you don't milk. Some of them you can, but our breed is more meat.
Oh, no kidding. People eat goat?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. How's it taste?
It's like beef, but a little bit sweeter.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this at all. What kind of goat? They're like I almost said a brand. Tyler, I almost said a brand of goat. That's definitely not the right thing to say. But like, is there a certain type that are better for eating than others?
Yeah. So there's meat and there's dairy. That is like the most broad classifications of goats you can get. So you have the meat ones, which they don't produce milk all the time. Only when they have when they have kids is what they're called.
Yeah.
And those ones you can just eat the meat.
No kidding.
But then the dairy ones, those ones are used for their milk. If you've ever seen a dairy goat, they all look severely underfed. But they're not.
Okay. Because they're always producing the milk and it takes a lot out of them, I guess.
They just don't have all that meat on them.
Not a lot of meat on them. Okay. How often do you eat goat, do you think?
Right now, not as much, but before, like goat tacos, those are really good.
No kidding. Am I going to call this episode Goat Tacos? Maybe. Well, that's interesting. I appreciate you. Oh, by the way, there's some work being done in my house and the idea of being quiet, I don't think the guy completely understands. So you might hear some banging. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is nowhere near this room. Interesting. Sorry, though. Hold on a second. I have more goat questions. I have another question, too. But so you breed the goats, people buy the goats. Do people butcher them themselves, or do you sell them to butchers who sell the meat?
We don't sell to butchers, but we'll sell to people. Sometimes they'll give them to butchers. Sometimes they'll butcher them themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll just raise them and show them.
Okay. And then they maybe breed their own goats and then sell theirs.
Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't know any of this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What's your father do for a living?
He started out as a paramedic, and then he moved to the dispatch side, ended up being head of dispatch for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And now he works at home and sells software to EMS companies.
No kidding. And your mom, does she have a job too?
Yeah, she does ultrasounds for an OBGYN office.
Oh, neat. That's cool. She gets to see little babies before they're born.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. And you're going to abandon them and go to Florida?
Probably.
Your sister's younger, right?
She's older.
Oh, she's older. Oh, you're the youngest.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, wow. Are you sad that you might move away?
My mom's in Florida quite a bit just because she has a house down there that she can go to.
No kidding. Everybody's living a better life than me, Tyler. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so your mom's there pretty frequently.
Yeah.
All right. Will you live in that house when you go down?
He's offered me a room there whenever I want.
Okay. Nice. This is lovely. How's the learning to drive going? And do you worry about your diabetes while you're driving?
Driving, now I'm better at it than I was when I started out.
Makes sense.
I've really only had 2 encounters with diabetes while driving. And both the times my parents, they have to be with me when I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have the follow app on me. So they noticed I was going low. I always keep glucose tabs in my car.
Yeah.
So I just kept driving, and I wasn't at the point where I was low enough where I felt like I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
I was more at the point where I started getting just a little shaky.
Mm-hmm.
So I just ate some glucose tabs while driving, and I was fine.
You were okay. Okay. Arden doesn't get low very often at all, actually, but she does, like everybody else. And the other day she texted me. It was like later at night, and we were all kind of just settling into bed. We settled in. I think she started to get a little lower. She left and went to the kitchen. And I got a text that said, "Hey, can you come help me? I must be about to get low because I swear I just saw a full-on person walk past me and there's no one here and I'm freaked out. I was wondering if you would come down." And I was like, okay. Has that ever happened to you? Do you ever see things?
No, not really.
She never has either. It was a new thing. She never said that before.
Was there actually a person, or did she just see something?
No, she didn't. There was no person. So I could read you the text, but hold on a second. Then I have one last question for you. Let me see. It says, "I fear my blood sugar is low because I swear I just saw a whole human being walk past me and there's not a soul here. And now I'm freaked out." So it took me a second to get to her. She kept texting me, "Hey, I'm downstairs," in case you were wondering where I was, like that kind of thing. Like she was really like, "You come to me, please." Like she got a little freaked out for a second. Anyway, my last question is, how do you end up on a podcast like about this? Like, do you listen? Did your mom say, "Hey, you should go on"? Like, how do you end up being a guest?
So my mom started out listening to your podcast, and then I started listening to it. And it was at the end of one of your videos. And you said that if you want to apply, just apply here. So
Yeah.
I decided, let's see if he'll let me in.
Awesome. What made you want to come share?
Mainly my unique experience with getting diagnosed. I've noticed like a lot of people, their diagnosis isn't as fun as mine, I guess. Their diagnosis is just them ending up in the hospital.
I can't believe you called it fun. Tyler, you have a unique personality. Like, you're very like just upbeat about things. It's interesting. Like, I mean, you don't know that about yourself because it's how you are. But like, no one's ever said to me, "I don't believe." You know, I have a fun diagnosis story. So what I take away from this more than anything is that you're not burdened by this at all, really.
Nope.
Yeah. Boy, that's awesome. I hope that stays like that for you forever. You know, that's really interesting. And I'm happy that you came on to share because, you know, we don't get as many kids. I know you probably feel older than, like, it probably feels weird me calling you a kid, especially after we just talked about eating them. but still, like, I really do appreciate you doing this. And I do hope people hear your story and take something from it. And I hope what they take from it is like your attitude, honestly. Yeah. Look at you. You're not scared to move away. You're not scared to go in the heat. You're active, not active, swim, don't care, switched pumps, all casual. No, like, oh no, how many people come on and are like, I switched pumps and it was horrible. Or like, I want to do something, but I can't. Or like, you just, man, dude, good for you, man. I hope this lasts for you forever. I think it's going to serve you well in life. How about you? Yeah. Where do you think you're going to be? Is it hard to picture your life? I know I said it was my last question, but at your age, is it hard to picture your life big, like time-wise, or do you just kind of think about today, tomorrow, and maybe a little ahead?
The hard thing is I don't really know what I want to do. I have ideas, but I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea of the internship. It'll tell you, like, this is a thing I enjoyed or I didn't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've sent 2 kids off to college, and I think one of the craziest things we do maybe as a society is to ask a junior in high school to start thinking about what they want to do in college if they're going to go to college. And if not, what do you want to do for a living? Who would know the answer to that question?
My school started making me do writing assignments about what I wanted to do when I was in 6th grade.
Awesome. Yeah. I bet 6th grade you probably wanted to be a fireman. Having to think about it's a great idea. Like, yeah. I like you thinking about it. I'm saying making a decision, especially if you're going away to college and you're like, hey, here's a commitment for years, a bunch of money. And like, what happens if I get there and I'm like, this isn't right for me, or I did the wrong thing, or, whatever, I want to pivot. Like, you're locked in financially. You're a little locked in with your time, right? The way you're going to go, I think it's a good idea, man, because you can pivot easily. If you come up with something like, I don't like this, or I like this part of it, you can move to it as you're learning. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I wonder where you'll end up. Be interesting. I don't think I'll be alive long enough to really find out. I'm getting pretty old, but it is interesting just to see where people think they're going to go and where they end up. And do they end up there, or do they put themselves there? Is always an interesting perspective for me. But anyway, it's probably pretty boring for you when you're 16. You're just trying to drive so you can ask a girl out. All right. Now, we've talked all about it. Is there a girl in your head now?
Not really.
Not really. Awesome. So then if it's not one person, what is it you're looking for? Like if I said intelligence, kindness, looks, height, hair color, love of music, love of art, like what do you think's most important in a person that you'll enjoy being with?
Kindness and willingness to accept the fact that our child might be diabetic.
Wow. Okay. So those are the 2 things that stick with you right now. Kindness, actually, in both ways. It's nice. So you don't care. Tall, short, thin, not thin, red hair, black hair. None of that pops into your head.
Not really.
Interesting. All right. Who's the most attractive famous person you can think of right now? Like visually attractive.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. Okay. All right. I'm with you. Little unique looking. Right. She's curvy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's short, right? That's okay with you?
Is she?
She's super short. All actresses and actors are short. You could pick Tom Cruise up and throw him across the room if you wanted to.
I knew he was short.
Yeah. But think about it. When he acts with he's short. When he's acting with women, he's taller than them. Do you know what an apple box is?
I don't.
Okay. Well, it's a box. Sometimes I've seen like pictures of Tom Cruise standing on things to act next to taller women. That interesting? You never think about that, right? All right. Scarlett Johansson. So you'll be going to see Jurassic Park this week?
If I can get someone to drive me.
Tyler, ride one of the goats. Seriously, could you just like throw a saddle on it, and do you think it could handle it? I know it can't, Tyler. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. Have you ever ridden a horse?
I have not.
Interesting. Me either. I think I'd probably die if I tried. Don't you?
I've tried to ride a steer.
I don't think that sounds smart.
I couldn't get on it.
Oh, did it care?
This was one of our steers that we've owned since it was little.
Oh.
So it was kind of friendlier.
A friendly steer?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you wanted to get on it to steer it around, but you couldn't. Thank you. All right. That's it. I'm good. Hold on 1 second for me. I'd like to thank the Eversense 365 for sponsoring this episode of the Juicebox Podcast and remind you that if you want the only sensor that gets inserted once a year and not every 14 days, you want the Eversense CGM. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. 1 year, 1 CGM. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by the Omnipod 5. And at my link, omnipod.com/juicebox, you can get yourself a free, what'd I just say? A free Omnipod 5 starter kit. Free? Get out of here. Go click on that link, omnipod.com/juicebox. Check it out. Terms and conditions apply. Eligibility may vary. Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox. Links in the show notes, links at juiceboxpodcast.com. Touched by Type 1 sponsored this episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Check them out at touchedbytype1.org on Instagram and Facebook. Give them a follow. Go check out what they're doing. They are helping people with type 1 diabetes in ways you just can't imagine. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back very soon with another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. If you're not already subscribed or following the podcast in your favorite audio app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do that now. Seriously, just to hit follow or subscribe will really help the show. If you go a little further in Apple Podcasts and set it up so that it downloads all new episodes, I'll be your best friend. And if you leave a 5-star review, I'll probably send you a Christmas card. Would you like a Christmas card? Hey kids, listen up. You've made it to the end of the podcast. You must have enjoyed it. You know what else you might enjoy? The private Facebook group for the Juicebox Podcast. I know you're thinking, Facebook, Scott, please. But no. Beautiful group, wonderful people, a fantastic community. Juicebox Podcast, Type 1 Diabetes on Facebook. Of course, if you have Type 2 or you're touched by diabetes in any way, you're absolutely welcome. It's a private group, so you'll have to answer a couple of questions before you come in. We'll make sure you're not a bot or an evildoer. Then you're on your way. You'll be part of the family. If you've noticed that the podcast sounds better, and you're thinking like, how does that happen? What you're hearing is Rob at Wrong Way Recording doing his magic to these files. So if you want him to do his magic to you, wrongwayrecording.com. You got a podcast? You want somebody to edit it? You want Rob.